Hey, cousin. I was just wrapping up filming for the day, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys to share with you an experience I had over the last few days. I live up in Alaska, for those of you that don't know, and we experienced pretty severe. I mean, severe weather is like an everyday thing for us, but we actually had like 4 feet of snow drop in like the course of 3 days. And then we got a big, huge windstorm. And what that means is that's called a blizzard. That's where the wind comes through and picks up all of that snow that just came and just fucking blows it around. And it was insanely intense. And I was actually by myself. My son is visiting his grandma out of state, and my partner went to work. So it's just me and the dogs chilling in a blizzard. And I went 22 hours without power in sub zero temperatures. And that whole experience was a lot. And I gained a lot from that experience. And it's a really long story. If you want to hear the whole story, come to SassMass. I actually talked about it at last week's SassMass. So if you want to hear the whole story, you can go to that. But anyway, one of the big takeaways from this experience, this catalyst that I experienced, was I was able to deepen my relationship with the spirit of my home, because it was a collaborative effort in order to keep the pipes from freezing, in order to stay, warm and semi-comfortable. And I could do like a whole series on how to foster a relationship with the spirit of your home and why you would want to do that in the first place. But this is a really good example of that. My home and I went through a blizzard together. They kept me safe, and as I was inside trying to keep them safe and going, because the truth of our experience is that this is a collaborative project. Life is a collaborative project. You depend on your home for so many things. And when we show up with the spirit of gratitude and connection, the spirit of our home shows up for us. And I wanted to just take a moment and touch on that a little bit. And I'm hoping that you guys come up with a bunch of questions about it, so I know kind of where to start in explaining this relationship that you can have. But yeah, I made it through the storm. Absolutely no damage to my house or property. And I was able to keep the internal temperature of my home, which I live in a ridiculously large house with a single gas fireplace. That's all I had. I was able to keep the internal temperature of my home above 40 degrees the entire time. And for those of you that if you know, you know, that's a miracle in and of itself. And I fully and absolutely give credit to the work that I was doing with my house during that whole time. And it was pretty great. Oh, and what I actually did was I set up an altar in every single room of my whole house with a single candle on the altar. It was a pillar candle. And lit the flame. And I have a relationship with the element of fire. And because I built that relationship with them, I talked about what it is that I needed and was hoping from this. And I named my house's name as Agnes. I was talking to Agnes and about what the intention and purpose was of this, was that I was going to feed my energy to the flame to keep the room warm. And I did that in every room, and every hour I would go and work that candle. Working a pillar candle, you're just bending the wax in toward the flame, but energetically, when you're interacting with the thing, that's what's giving it power. That's what's feeding it. That's why I like altar work so much. But every hour I would go and I would work that flame and I would connect and I would, lend energy to the project or process or whatever you want to call it. And it was effective, and miraculously effective at that. And that's how I went about the 22 hours. So 22 times I was in there working these altars and trying to stay very present during the whole thing. That was the other really cool thing about this experience, was I was able to see exactly where I am in my deconstruction process, in my shadow work with my feeling signatures. I wasn't afraid of what was going to happen. I was very open and very trusting in my guides that they're not going to let anything through that isn't meant for me. So staying present and trying to glean as much as I could out of the catalyst, out of the experience, for my practice and for my calling. And that's what I did. And it was awesome. And I would love to further this discussion if you are interested. So if you are interested, let me know if you want more content like this, and I will keep it coming. I'm super into this shit. So let me know. Interact with this video. Like and subscribe, and for more information or to see like the latest workshop I'm doing or whatever, you can go to brightanddark.org to check out the programs and resources. And we even have a shop as well. So if you're looking for witchcraft supplies and things like that, we have that. So yeah, do the thing, all the things. I love you guys. Let's make some magic, shall we?